Okay, let's take a look at updating our profile information and our password in Fortify. So first, let's take a look at how it looks in Jetstream. Here you can update your profile information, and down here you can update your password. So Fortify has the routes and controllers available. So let's go ahead and do that. So first we would make a profile page. So let's go ahead and do that in our Fortify project. So let's just grab this from the last video. It's very similar to this with the password and the email here. And let's go ahead and duplicate the dashboard. Okay. Or it doesn't matter actually. I'm just going to replace it with this anyways. So let's name it profile.blade.php. And let's grab this. And we are logged in, so let's change it to a app layout. That should have changed this closing tag, okay? And we have the errors here. And we have the session status. But the session status actually has a specific status here that we have to check for. And that is profile information updated. And then in here, we can just say that. So profile info updated, has been updated, or whatever you want. You can also put this in the translations files and just put a key for this and then have multiple languages for that. Okay, so there's no option to put it in our Fortify service provider like we've been doing. So we have to do it manually in our routes file. So let's add a new one for profile. I should make a route group here, but I'm just duplicating what we currently have. And this is profile, so let's replace all of those. Okay, and now let's go back to our profile and update this. So the endpoint, let's take a look at our routes again. It's these two ones right here. So profile information, and for password, it's password, user password. And they are put requests. So let's go ahead and grab this. I believe there's a route name for this too, but like I said, I'll just stick to the endpoint name like we've been doing. It's a put request, so it's a method put. And the endpoint is this, okay? And we don't need this token. And this is the user's email, so let's grab that from the logged in user. So let's change this, auth user email. And I'm going to duplicate this and add one for the name as well. And let's take autofocus off the email because I want it on the name. Okay, let's change these to name. Okay, and this should be text. This should be name. I'm going to remove password here because we're going to do that separately, and it's a separate route for that. So let's remove these. And let's say update profile here. Okay. Let's also add a link in our main layout here. So let's put another one here, or let's put it above logout. And let's say route, and I believe I named it profile. Okay, profile, and it's a profile here. Okay, so let's see if everything works. There's a profile, and this information is populated. So now if I update this, this should work. And it does, cool. Let me refresh to make sure it did work, and it did. Now in the Jetstream videos, I showed you how you can modify this and add new fields. You would just make use of the actions. So actions Fortify and update user information. And you can add any new fields here. Actually, let's check if the validation works. So let's say I don't put anything in here. And the messages are not showing. But if I refresh, the user's information still shows. So I think the only change I have to make is change validate with bag to just validate. So validate with bag allows you to have a named error bag, which we don't need in this case because we only have one form. So let's just change this to validate, and hopefully the errors show now. So let's try that again. Let me refresh. Let's remove this. And there it is. Cool. Now, if you look at the action, you'll see that there's a method for updating a verified user as well. So if you remember a few videos ago, we took a look at the feature that allowed us to verify email. And if we're changing our email here, then we have to verify the new email. So it sends out another email as well. So let's take a look. If I change my email address, update profile. Actually, let me refresh first so the name isn't there. Let's change the email address, update profile. I get an email and it redirects back to this page, and we can verify that email address here. And there is the page. Cool. With the new email address. Now let's do the same for updating our password. And it's on the same form in Jetstream, but I'm just going to separate it for demo purposes. So let's go ahead and make another route. Let's go to our routes file. Let's call this one password or password update, whatever you want. And I'm just going to change it to password. Okay. Let's go ahead and duplicate this. Name it password.blade.php. And I think I forgot to change this name. Yeah, let's change it to profile. And let's change this one to update password. Okay. And for this, the session status is password updated. So let's change this. Password updated. Oops, I already had that there. And let's just change this text to password has been updated. Okay. And the endpoint is user/password. So let's change this. It's a put request as well. And we just need the 2 password fields. So let me grab that from the reset password view. So we just need these 2 password fields. Okay, let's paste it in. Let's say update password. Let's add that link to our app Blade. So let's put it right underneath. I named it password. Okay, or update password. And let's see if this works. So back to our app. Sorry, it's this one. Password or update password. View password not found. And I named it incorrectly. Okay, try again. Let's try the validation. So unmatching passwords. Undefined index, current password. That's because this has to be current password. So let's change that. Current password. Actually, that should still be password. And this too. Okay. And let's try it again. Just go back to this page. Oops, it's password. And again, let's try the validation error messages. Okay. And that did not show up. Oh yeah, so same thing. I have to change the action here and just say validate. Sorry, it's up here. Update user password. And we don't need the bag. Change it to validate. Okay. Let's try again. Non-matching passwords. Okay, but now if we do have matching passwords, let's see if this works. And it looks like it's not working. All right, sorry. So I need 3 fields. I need the current password and I need 2 new passwords. So let me duplicate this. And this should be password. Sorry about that. Okay. Try that again. So current password and new password. I need to change the label here. Say new password. Okay. And one last time. So current password, new password, new password. And that did not work because I did not type in the correct password. So let me try again. And now hopefully this works. And it looks like it does. There is the success message. And let's verify that that worked. Let me just grab the user information. Let's log out. Let's log in again. And with that new password I just made. And it looks like it works.